Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. And we're going to talk about a famous magician from many years ago called Kellar. He was born in 1849, so sadly he's no longer with us. Well, yeah, pretty obvious, otherwise he'd be the oldest person in the world. But he's no longer with us, but he was a famous stage magician who used to deal with telekinetic, where he could move objects around the stage, and his assistant he could control. He used to lay his assistant in a box on stage. He would have a little toy doll, and whatever he did with the doll, if he turned it on her tummy, his assistant would turn on her tummy automatically. If he stood the doll on her head, his assistant would float onto her head, and it was an impressive trick. Now, I'm going to attempt to recreate that illusion right here, right now, with a deck of cards, because I don't have an assistant. Certainly not a glamorous one at that, if any. But I want you to choose a card, and that will be our glamorous assistant. So you, sir, take any card you like. Now, they will take any card and remember it. The card can be returned back to the pack, and it can be cut and lost into the cards, and it doesn't matter where it is because it's not one of those types of tricks where I have to find your card. But just to say that your chosen card, I want you to remember it because that is going to represent our glamorous assistant. Now, just check, your card's not at the bottom, no, and it's not on the top. No? Okay? And in fact, what we'll do is let's pick a card that we can use as our doll. Let's go for this one. Not for any reason, but it's pretty plain. But this can be our control card, the dolly. Okay? Now, what I'd like you to do is we're going to place the pack on the table, and this is going to be our control card. I want you to turn that card head to tail. You're not going to believe this. Your card somewhere in that pack, we know it's not at the top or the bottom, it's got to be somewhere else inside there, has now just turned head to tail. It really has. What if you move it up, lift it up and drop it down? Your card has now lifted up and down. It really has. I know it's hard to believe. I kid you not. Finally, let me show you. Turn the card over. Do you want to know how your card turns over? There you go. Well, we know it's one of the 51 cards in the pack. It's obviously turned over. But I know that I jest with you. But turn that card face up. You're not going to believe this, but your card in here has now turned face up. You don't believe me? And there is one card face up. Is that your card? And that is the Kellar card trick. So here is the tutorial for a very simple card trick, and the great thing about this is the fact that there's no setup or stacking or any major sleights to do. So you can actually do it impromptu. You can even do it with a borrowed deck of playing cards. But this is it. Kellar, a famous magician. Or is he? But that's the story as it goes. And you're going to get a spectator to control their card by another card. Let's just go through the routine because it's quite straightforward. Most of you magicians would have guessed how it works. So this is what happens. you have a regular deck of cards, they're shuffled, the spectator chooses a card, and the bottom line is that you've got to control this in the pack to be second from the top. Now do that any way you like. Now the way that I did this is that I controlled the card to the top, so it was on here. I then did an overhand shuffle of slipping the cards so the top card and the bottom card came together, and then did a regular overhand shuffle. Then I did another one and brought those two cards to the top. And what would happen, as long as I pull the cards off one at a time, when I get to the top, we now have any card, and the second card is their chosen card. Once again, you may have a different method for doing this, but the bottom line is you've got to get their chosen card into the second position. Then what you do is you talk about, is that your card at the bottom? No. And what about this one on top? No. And when you turn this over, what you're doing here is getting a break under the top card. Get a break under the top card, you return this and you square it up and you pick it up. I've now got their card here. You then flip over a few cards and grip them underneath like this to say we'll use a card as the control card, and you can turn this over and say we'll use this one. What you've actually done is to reverse their card. You put this down and you ask a spectator just to hang on to that, and while they're doing that you cut the cards so you can get their card into the middle. The trick's done. I then put them face up. We then say this is going to control the pack. If we turn it head to toe, your card has done that. If we lift it up and down, your card has now just travelled to the top and to the bottom. Of course you're kidding because they can't see that. You then do the gag of turn it over. I believe that we can turn your card over, and you turn the whole pack over, so of course their card is turned over. With the pack face down, they turn this face up, and that's the ending, because when you spread the pack, there is their card reversed in the middle. It is very direct and simple, but you know me, I love simple tricks. I find them quite impressive. Anyway, till next time, don't forget, do subscribe and like and share. Until next time, enjoy.